Kenya is a very integral part of the East African community, and if we have chaos in Kenya, it disrupts the entire East African community economy. So I would urge everybody to be peaceful and wait for the tallies and wait for the declaration of the results by the official IEBC chair as per the law.
Analysts state that the race is too close to call for the top presidential candidates, and that is Raila Odinga and William Ruto, and in case the winner fails to garner more than 50% of the vote, then the election will go into a runoff. Dennis Igoa and Juma Samba for UBC News in Nairobi City.
Dennis and Juma, thank you so much for that report there, and we'll remain in Kenya momentarily, where the Kenyan election kicked off at 6 a.m. with some technological encumbrances registered with the biometric fingerprint machine. In some of the areas, the machines could not read the fingerprints of eligible voters, while in other areas, the voting exercise was smooth. As Voice of America's Vincent Mokori reports, it could take 2 hours for someone to access the polling desk to cast his or her vote.
Hello, it is the day finally here in Kenya, 9th of August, and it's election day. I'm here at Westlands Primary School in the outskirts of the city of Nairobi, where thousands upon thousands of people have been lining up since dawn to cast their ballots to decide who becomes the president, who becomes their governor, member of parliament, senator, or even member of the county assembly for the next 5 years. Now, something significant on this election day is that there have been delays in so many polling stations. They were supposed to have opened by 6 in the morning, but in many of the polling stations, including this particular one, there was a delay of perhaps an hour or more, and officials here tell me it was because their ballot papers did not arrive in time, and now that created some agitation among the voters. Some of them I've spoken to say they have been waiting here for hours.
Onset at the beginning, it was a bit, I would say, chaotic in the sense one didn't know which stream to go to until somebody offered to guide us on how to establish which stream it is. And when we go there, I think there was some technical glitches because it took us almost 2 hours to get to the booth. But once we were inside, it was pretty fast.
As soon as the process began, once the ballot papers came in, they say the process is very smooth. They're actually happy with how the Electoral Commission has conducted this election process. The voting itself is easy, as they tell me. Once they find their names on the register right at the entrance to the polling area, they go in with their identification, and the rest of the process is very smooth until they cast their ballot and get the ink put on the fingers to indicate that they have voted. So we have spoken to a number of young people, older people, and many of them are pretty satisfied with the process, at least in the areas that we have visited. We will bring you more of the news and updates on this election day, and indeed thereafter what happens when the process is all done. This is Vincent Mokori, VOA News, Nairobi, Kenya.
Our partner correspondent Vincent Mokori, they are giving us updating as far as the election was concerned. Now, Kenya has been to the polls, of course, to elect their next president for the next 5 years. And of course, there are 4 candidates who are contending for that post. Now, the following report gives us profiles of those 4 candidates. Of course, those are some of the profiles of the contenders in the Kenyan presidential election. Now, the visiting president of the Republic of Somalia, His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, and his delegation have visited Luwero Defense Industries in Nakasongola district, which is a subsidiary of the National Enterprise Corporation. President Mohamud was accompanied by Uganda's Minister for Defense and Veteran Affairs, Honorable Vincent Sempija, and the Director of Regional and International Political Cooperation in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Kaferu Arthur. Lieutenant General James Mugira, the NEC Managing Director, welcomed the President to the facility and relayed its composition.
Of the many subsidiary companies of the National Enterprise Corporation. Luwero Industries is named after the area of Luwero, which was the cradle of the liberation struggle. It is the birthplace of our revolution, because this is where the struggle for the liberation of this country was launched.
The Uganda People's Defense Forces, in addition to the original task of defense of territorial integrity and sovereignty of Uganda, it plays a key role in the socio-economic development of the country.
I really appreciate the presentation, and I congratulate UBDF and under the leadership of His Excellency, how the military not only defending the country, but also developing the country in its own resources and know-how, without wasting time and remaining in the barracks for idly. So I really congratulate you, and this is a real development for this country and for the East Africa community as well. Amazing me is the diversity of the areas that you really are engaging yourself, and you're making a tangible results.
And that was the President of the Federal Republic of Somalia ending that report there. Now let's go back to the Kenyan general election, and of course the election took place earlier today, and any moment the results will be announced, but also in countries where there are Kenyan embassies, election polling took place there. And here in Uganda, so many Kenyans went to the polls to elect their new leaders. And our reporter Mubale Saddam is at the Kenyan High Commission here in Kampala and now gives us the update.
A very good evening, and thank you for tuning into UBC TV. Right now we are still here at the Kenyan High Commission, where the election, the voting exercise had taken place from 6 a.m. to 5, and during our updates we have been showing you that the tallying and the counting of the votes was still ongoing. And right now, just like you can see, if my camera person will tilt in a little bit, this particular polling station had a total number of registered voters, that is 1,411, but the total number of voters today, the total number of votes casted was 695, where you can see right now on this particular polling station, that is polling station 1, where Raila Amolo Odinga and Martha Karua, the running mate, led with 146 votes, followed by William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua with 73 votes, then followed by David Mwaure Wahiga with Ruth Wambui Mucheru, who did not get any vote on that particular polling station. Then George Lichiri Wajakoya and Justin Wangui Wamae had managed to pull off 1 vote. And on the second polling station here, Raila Odinga managed to get 159 votes, followed by William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua standing at 89 votes. Then David Mwaure and Ruth Wambui Mucheru getting 1 vote. Then George Wajakoya did not get a particular vote. Then on polling station 5 here, Raila Odinga got 148, followed by William Samoei Ruto with 73, then Wajakoya with 1 vote, and Wahiga Mwaure without a single vote. So that is it, our viewers, right now. The total number of votes casted stands at 695. That is the total number of votes casted. That means close to half of registered voters did not turn up for voting. So I will just talk to some of the agents who have been there, who will be also be telling us what their expectations are after this particular result. A very good evening. Thank you for joining UBC. Just give us your name and then your expectation and how the exercise was.
Thank you so much. My name is Bonike Mani. I've been here from around 5:30 a.m. as an agent of Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Of course, the exercise have been moving on smoothly, but we have had some challenges here and there whereby we have found that in the register we don't have some voters. Or some voters have been missing. Others who registered from here, the IEBC didn't update the register, so some people couldn't be able or couldn't make it to vote. But at the end of the day, we have gotten the results and they are good. We expect, despite all, we expect Dr. William Ruto to take the day.
Well, that is an agent of William Ruto saying, airing out his views on this particular vote. I will also talk to one of them here to also give us his insight on what he thinks about this election.
Thank you so much. My name is Ahmed Abdurrahman, an agent for Dr. William Samoei Ruto, who is a candidate in these elections. And all our hopes are in him that he's going to become the next president of Kenya and succeed Uhuru Kenyatta. We have had a successful election at the embassy. The voter turnout was low and we are disappointed that majority of the Kenyans didn't turn up. And this shows a lack of commitment towards a national calling. So that's all I have to say for today, and thank you so much.
Yes, you've heard them. So a wrap-up of this election here, rather the results here, Raila Odinga led with 453 votes against William Ruto, who got 235 votes. Then Wajakoya and Mwaure each shared 1 vote. As a hand back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Saddam Mubale. That was our correspondent, our reporter rather, who is still at the Kenyan High Commission here in Kampala, and giving us the results of the voting that took place there. And of course, as it is, Raila Odinga taking the day. But of course, as you've heard, the agents of the Deputy President still having hope that their man will go through, even as the results say otherwise. And of course, we'll be giving you more updates tomorrow. Hopefully, we shall get our reporter, Dennis Tugua, who is in Nairobi, to give us the latest that will have come in as far as the vote counting is concerned. Now let's go to Kisoro district, and with just 1 day left to the Bukimbiri constituency by-elections, the National Unity Platform NUP candidate has defected to the NRM. Mtabazi, a former NUP candidate who was vying for Bukimbiri County parliamentary slot, was unveiled by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Nabanja, and handed over to the party Secretary General Richard Tudwong at Gorilla Height Hotel in Nguringo Town Council in Kisoro District.
The Prime Minister, Robin Nabanja, presented Mutabazi to the NRM Secretary General Richard Tudwong, who has realized that NUP has no future.
The man is now okay. He has been a candidate of NUP. He was frustrated and he feels that there is future, a lot of future in NRM.
Mutabazi told the media that he decided to join the NRM because he was disappointed and frustrated with the actions of NUP.
And frustrating, but thank God it's now, I now have a sober mind and I'm in a lane that has a direction and a purpose.
Mutabazi says that he crossed with the entire structure and now they are canvassing for the NRM candidate, Eddie Kwizera.
I have a team, I have a system that has been ground, and I can assure you that already I've made calls with my system and all of them are taking positions, they are keeping positions. One thing is changing. instead of the umbrella, it's now the bus.
The Vice President, Her Excellency Jessica Alupo, welcomed Mutabazi to the party and asked the other people still opposing the NRM to follow suit.
Borrow a leaf from this young brother of ours, this young son of ours, to join together their efforts and support this NRM team which is here, but most importantly, vote for Honorable Idi Kwizera.
The Secretary General of the NRM party, Richard Todong, earlier told journalists that the party has only one candidate, Idi Kwizera.
In our manifesto that we should extend electricity to all the sub-counties, the penetration of electricity to the sub-counties, clean waters to the sub-county, to the villages, health centers, schools, all these are in our policy documents. We don't constrict people. If you're a member of the party and you feel you should go as an independent, we don't force you. But it is worse if you're a leader and you don't support a flag bearer.
The NRM flag bearer, Idi Kwizera, appeals to the voters to turn up in big numbers and vote for him.
The NUP is supporting me, Aunt is supporting me, and other people they wanted to contest, they looked at my capacity and they said they'll support him. So I'm being supported by my agents. And secondly, I have managed to recruit my main opponent as a campaign manager, because whatever he says adds me votes.
Several ministers and members of parliament from across the country have camped in Buchimbiri. During public rallies, the Vice President Jessica Alupo and the Prime Minister Robin Nabanja assured the voters that President Museveni supports the flag bearer, Idi Kwizera.
Kwizera, I request you to vote for Honorable Idi Kwizera. Ndenda mumanyeji. Itwe mu NRM owaina bendera ya NRM ni Idi Kwizera taliyo dizo.
Buchimbiri County campaigns have closed and over 32,000 voters are expected to cast their vote on Thursday. I'm Nafka Farida, reporting.
Let's cross now from western Uganda to east of the country to Gogonyo, that is in Palisa district, where the NRM-leaning but independent candidate Issa Taligola, who was the only remaining challenger of the NRM candidate Derek Oroni, has stepped out of the race for Gogonyo County parliamentary by-election. Tarigola declared before President Yoweri Museveni, who is also the NRM chairperson, who was in Palisa district to wrap up the campaign of the NRM camp. President Museveni, however, directed the party legal team to analyze the declaration and guide the party.
As early as 8 a.m., supporters of NRM party had started gathering at Anguru Primary Playground in Obutete Sub-County to take part in the day's last campaign trail for NRM's candidate Derek Oroni. Here, supporters were drawn from the two sub-counties of Obutete and Gogonyo. At exactly 2 p.m., His Excellency, also the party chairperson NRM, arrived at this campaign venue. Present at the venue were ministers, SEC members and members of parliament.
Your Excellency, we have some work to do, because this constituency is almost 95% NRM. Opposition isn't here, but the infighting sometimes of our leaders is our challenge. We have done a lot of reconciliations to reach where we are now.
Others was Okoboy Joseph Oplot, the NUP candidate who withdrew from the race.
Your Excellency, my names are already mentioned and a brief background has been given. I was contesting as a NUP candidate in the forthcoming elections, but having been guided by my cultural leaders, I had to withdraw my candidature in favor of my brother, Oroni Derek.
The president then addressed the gathering.
Like Tarigora is a Mukenyi. The Mukenyi are saying something. This is something that can be handled by the elders here. But for the issue of the Bakenyi, I will handle it now that I know you vote for Orone. I will see how to handle the Bakenyi issue.
The 1 hour address by the president was more of development than politics.
Extensive agriculture means you do the maize, you do the cotton, you do the sugar cane, because although you are getting small per acre, but because you have got many acres, you end up getting good money. So this is the medicine of agriculture. Please don't beat about the bush. Talk about this. Oh, no. This land, I was watching, it's not being used.
Mr. Museveni also did assure the voters and residents of this area that if they vote the government-leaning candidates, they will be assured of service delivery.
Now, you count for me how many A-level schools are there in Paris now. You can go and count the number. So, this is why I am telling you, vote for the NRM. Vote for yourselves. By voting for the NRM, you are voting to solve your problems. Because it is the NRM which has got the capacity to solve those problems.
The president also convened another party supporters meeting at Kaukura Primary Playground in Kaukura Sub-County.
Your Excellency, I've lost 400 million shillings in court. I've lost 300 million shillings in this by-election. And when I look at a member, Your Excellency, coming here to pretend, let me leave that. I know, Papa, you know what I mean.
At this campaign trail, which happens to be the last campaign trail for NRM party and the district at large, the independent candidate Issa Tarigora announced that he has resolved to step out of this by-election.
And in the interest of the party, and with due respect to your work as the chairman of the party, I hereby step down.
Okay, keep quiet now.
I request that the people of Gogonyo work in harmony for the betterment of our county. So I want to say that there shall be no election on Thursday. Thank you.
This automatically leaves the NRM candidate Derek Roni unopposed. The president now directed the party electoral commission and lawyers to handle what could be probably the outcome or implications of his step down.
And I don't know the lawyers, if Targora steps down and Opolot had stepped down, who remains? Two other candidates, Joseph Okoboy Opolot and Mr. Tarigora, leaves our candidate, Derek Oron, unopposed. So the legal implication is that I hope both sides have put it in writing to inform the Electoral Commission. If that is done by tomorrow 10 o'clock, the Electoral Commission would be mandated to declare the Derek Oroni elected unopposed.
The president's campaign in the district not only wraps up the campaign trail for the NRM candidate, but also puts a full stop at the entire campaign trail ahead of the Thursday polling in the Gogonyo by-election. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Palista District.
Thanks, Robert Onyango, for that report there. Now we're still talking about the by-elections in several areas of the country. Let's cross to Busongora now, where 7 candidates have been nominated to campaign for Busongora South parliamentary by-election in Kasese district. The second day of the nomination exercise saw NRM party candidate Gideon Mujungu nominated at 11 a.m. and other 2 independent candidates, David Mulindwa Isimbwa and Juma Munezero. During the exercise, the returning officer Kasese Ismail Atwijukire urged the candidates to follow campaign guidelines. From Kasese, here is our reporter, Philip Agota.
Today was the last day of nominations for the Busongora South Parliamentary by-election in Kasese district. By end of business, the returning officer nominated 7 candidates to face off for the by-election.
Declare Tembo Gideon Mujungu.
The NRM party candidate Gideon Mujungu was nominated at about 11 a.m. Mujungu pledged to address the challenges of poor service delivery like poor roads, water scarcity and poor health infrastructure in Busongora South.
Busongora South has many challenges. We shall put them on table in the context of the manifesto of NRM. We have challenges of education, challenges of health, challenges of roads. We shall articulate this agenda going forward to ensure that we implement the manifesto of the NRM in the next 4 years.
At the nomination center, Mujungu was in the company of top NRM officials, both local and national, including the party's first national vice chairperson, Alhaji Moses Chigongo.
The government was already elected. We have a leader. We have the president, isn't it? The government was already formed. The person whom we are electing now is the person who can go and fetch something from the government to the wananchi. And there's no way, nobody should tell you lies. There's no way somebody else who is not belonging to the movement, who is the FDC, whatever party you may talk of, NAPU and the independent, where are they going to get the things to deliver from?
The top NRM bosses in the district, led by the chairman, Dr. Crispus Chionga, pledged to ensure that their flag bearer, Gideon Mujungu, retains Busongora South.
That from now on, no sleep. This is campaign, no sleep. We shall be sleeping in the people's homes doing footwork, going everywhere so that we fulfill what the vice chairman has asked for and also what Gideon has committed on our behalf to deliver Busongora South back to Parliament on the NRM ticket.
People are very excited. Our candidate was nominated today successfully. He has been touring the constituency. He has reached several places, Mkungu, Mitiviri, Chitabu area, and Kahocha and Muhocha. Now he's coming to address his final rally here, which is the beginning of rallies at Chigoro Primary School, which is in Rukoki sub-county. So people are excited.
The candidate briefly addressed the first nomination rally at NRM offices before proceeding with the procession being accompanied by supporters to various nomination rallies that climaxed at Chigoro Primary School playgrounds in Rukoki sub-county. Back at the nomination center, the returning officer urged the candidates to follow campaign guidelines. The 7 nominated candidates have 6 days to campaign. Voting is on 18th August. Philip Aguta and Moses Mutabali for UBC News in Kasese.
Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
Did you know it is mandatory to have all births registered and a birth certificate issued? Failure to do so attracts a penalty of imprisonment or a fine. It's proof of age and belonging to parents, protects and provides children with legal rights from crimes and abuse like defilement and child labor. Give your children a good future today and have their birth certificates. For more information, visit the NERA office in your area or visit our website www.nera.go.ug. This message is brought to you by NERA.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using to Gabonais. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You say I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just say to register.
What's going on here?
He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 #, and now you are on. No waiting. Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money. Now, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Cooking with electricity is now affordable. Cook your beans. Avoid smoke.
Sayaka. Cooking with electricity is now so affordable with the Fumba tariff set by the Electricity Regulatory Authority. With the Fumba tariff, you can now buy up to 70 units of Yaka at a reduced price of 412 Uganda shillings per unit after consuming your first 80 units of the month. For more information, contact the Electricity Regulatory Authority on 0200 506 000.
Forget last season. Forget the oohs and the ahs. Forget every moment that stole the show, because the real show is here on GoTV. It's the new season. It's action-packed, and it's going to be non-stop football. With over 1,000 games from more than 7 leagues and cup competitions, plus a World Cup. Make sure you get the best seat in the house this new football season. Get a GoCoder with 1 month of GoTV value for only 25,000 Uganda shillings and enjoy non-stop football. GoTV Uganda. Love it.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Molt Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602.
Welcome back from that break, and this is our second and final edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. My name is Rukidi Edward Kiijanangoma. The Inspectorate of Government has taken interest in investigating the alleged bribe by Bukoto South Member of Parliament Twaha Kagabo. Mr. Kagabo appeared with 40 million shillings, claiming that he got it from the home of the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among. The Deputy Inspector General of Government, Achan Okiria, has revealed that investigations have commenced to ascertain whether the alleged money is connected to extortion of government funds. However, during Tuesday afternoon plenary, Speaker of Parliament, Annette Among, asked the Committee on Rules and Privileges to take up the matter. Daniel Mugoya reports.
Early Tuesday, 9th August 2022, the Bukoto South Member of Parliament, Twaha Kagabo, shocked the opposition wing in Parliament, holding a briefcase containing 40 million Uganda shillings, which he had brought to hand over to the office of the Leader of Opposition. Representing under the ticket of National Unity Platform, MP Twaha Kagabo alleged that he got the money from the home of the Speaker.
I picked this money from the Speaker's home.
Kagabo declined to reveal who invited him at the home of the Speaker of Parliament.
But like everybody is aware, the flow of information, it is somebody called me.
The Leader of Opposition in Parliament, Matthias Mpuga, offered MP Kagabo security to return the alleged money.
Where he picked it, it is easier. I think my security has a vehicle. You can choose to drive yours, and should be done today and now without fail.
No sooner has Kagabo left Parliament than the Criminal Investigations Department attached to Parliament intervened to arrest him. Kagabo was handed over to the office of the Inspectorate of Government for further investigations.
And if we ascertain that this is government money, we shall take it back to government and put it on our asset recovery fund. But at the moment, we have the money as exhibit. We shall keep it as we investigate the matter.
Achan Okiria, the Deputy Inspector General of Government, reveals that they have secured a statement from the Bukoto South Member of Parliament, and the investigations are to be completed within a fortnight.
And depending on the outcome, he shall be arraigned at the Anti-Corruption Court to be charged accordingly. But right now, it is still very premature to get into, to divulge into the details and to make committal statements. We need to first of all establish what was the source.
In her communication to Parliament, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, was not hesitant to speak on the matter, which she says is an act to tarnish her name. Among asked the Parliament Committee on Rules and Privileges to investigate the truth in the matter.
I did not give him any money. I don't even know him. For information, he has been a member of Parliament here, but I don't know him. And based on that, this is a breach of conduct of this house. It is an abuse to this house. Honorable members, we cannot allow that kind of behavior in this 11th Parliament. I therefore refer the member to the Rules Committee.
It is not the first time the debate on the controversial 40 million bribe surfaces in the media. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Now, Uganda will celebrate the International Day for Indigenous Communities. Now, this day is celebrated worldwide, and among the communities, we have the Indians living in Uganda, which is one of the communities celebrating this day. According to Vahid Mohammed, Secretary General, Indian Association of Uganda, the Indian community is still pushing for its quest to be recognized among the indigenous tribes in Uganda. Vahid stresses that it's about 30,000 Indian families living in Uganda, and they contribute about 68% of the domestic revenue. Take a watch.
The Indians came to Uganda more than 130 years ago, 1895. Okay, the railway coolies, they came here and to do the railway. At the same time, the traders from all over India, they came to Uganda. And we contributed the development of Uganda both economically and socially. Right now, our contribution to the economy is 60% of the tax paying. So we requested the president. President is also accepted. Because you are among us, we wanted to give you the tribal status. Right now, that from the president office, it went to the parliament for approval. In the meantime, we discussed with the committee recently formed by the parliament. It is called the Parliament Committee for Indian Affairs. So we informed that committee also. The Honorable Opolot, he is the chairman of that committee. We had a meeting with him also. We explained to him what is why the getting a tribal status important to Indians. Because our sister nation, which is Kenya, they already approved the tribal status for Indians. Because most of the Indians who came, the third generation people, they don't know where they are home in India. Even after when Idi Amin is expelling them, they didn't go back to India. They went to Canada and UK. After that, they come back and developed. So we all feel it is our own home. Even our kids who born here and grown here, as per the immigration law, they were not able to get citizenship or resident. That law also supposed to be amended because they are staying in the country as a student pass or dependent on our dependent pass. But as per the Uganda immigration law, the dependent pass or the student pass is not allowed to become a citizen or resident of the country. We all live like brothers. Let us continue these behaviors and let us be part of this country and we help this country to develop. This is our home right now. It is our second home. We decided to stay back in this country. Let us develop this country. Let us be brothers with all Ugandans.
First, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East Africa Affairs, Rebecca Twala Kadaga, has commended enthusiasts in the region for the commitment of the EAC regional market, integration and process, and desire to spread the EAC gospel across the region. She was speaking during the official launch of the 5th Great African Cycling Safari at the ministry headquarters here in Kampala. This year's event will create awareness on the EAC integration agenda, common market and the climate change challenges within the region.
Each of you is handling an aspect of the common market protocol because the common market protocol has 5 movements, 5 freedoms. Freedom of movement of capital, which is here, movement of labor, movement of goods and services, and the movement of people is on this side. So 2 parts of the common market are coming together here to actualize our big programs. We are happy to be associated with the Great African Cycling Safaris. Last year we started off with you. It was slightly smaller, but now we are prepared better, and I welcome the Equity Bank. Equity Bank is a very reliable partner within the integration, and when we were in Congo, I baptized them the Bank of Integration because they told us that already in less than 2 years they've been able to establish 71 branches just within all the cities of the DRC, and they're also in all the countries of East Africa.
Number 1 pillar is a promotion of East African community integration process. Like you all are aware, we have always been called upon to own the integration. We always see when you people report East African community, we see our leaders meeting and all that. But it has so much been in offices.
East Africa is seen as one region, one powerhouse with resources and ability to sustain itself. So our mission is to transform lives. Actually, our mission and purpose is in relation to Africa. Ours is to transform lives, bring dignity, and provide opportunities for wealth creation.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
A former Vice President Dr. Specioza Kazibwe has noted that there is need to revisit the current education curriculum, saying that most students are only cramming and reading to pass exams but not problem-solving graduates. She was launching Dr. Eric Adriko's Otuku book. Take a watch.
Specioza Kazibwe, during the book launch ceremony held at Sheraton, said that there is need to revisit current education curriculum, which where students only read to cram and pass exams.
Let us continue to love one another. Let us look at Eric for the goodness he's done for this country. Let us shun the habits that make us the negative of what Eric has shown can and should be for the good of our country.
Specioza was attending the book launch of Dr. Eric Tio Sekwoga Adriko, who she said his sense of intellect is exemplary and should be emulated by the young generation.
Let us look at Eric for the goodness he's done for this country. Let us shun the habits that make us the negative of what Eric has shown can and should be for the good of our country.
Professor Mondo Kagonyera during his address said that little attention has been paid to intellects in the country, yet they contribute a lot towards national building.
So Adriko, it is true, failure has never been part of your DNA. And we thank the Almighty God for that. To what use, Specioza, to what use is your country putting the geniuses of this country? My view is that we are paying least attention as a country to the industry of knowledge. Knowledge, without knowledge, this country or Africa cannot develop. We shall never catch up with the rest of the world unless we exploit the likes of Adriko.
Dr. Adriko also attended the event. In his memo had this to say.
Doctor, I want to thank you. You are no longer for your family and for yourself. You are for us. Whatever the definition of us is, it depends on every individual. But for us, you're for us. We thank you.
The Category of Buganda, Charles Peter Maiga, has advised that working as a team will take Buganda to the peak. Maiga was meeting 18 Masaza chiefs and their deputies at Bulange Mengo to discuss matters of service delivery in Buganda.
The 18 Masaza chiefs and deputies have met the Buganda Category Charles Peter Maiga and discussed service delivery to the people. Addressing them, Katikiro Maiga emphasized working as a team, do away with disunity and misunderstandings, but focus on serving people of Buganda.
Abebufuzi biri awo oluusi babiteekamu n'eddiini oluusi mawanga mbasaba tukole kabaka kyakola bulijjo tukolere mu mwoyo gw'okunyweza obumu.
The Minister for Local Government, also the Buganda Attorney General Christopher Bwanika, applauded Masaza chiefs for spreading Kabaka's message of preventing diseases. On behalf of chiefs, the Budu County Chief Jude Muleke says they have been enthusiastic for visiting Katikiro.
Nti ab'amasaza bano bulijjo baagala okusisinkana si kubuuza bibuuzo ne balina ekirabo kye bakuleetedde okwebaza okutukulembera obulungi.
They have gifted Katikiro a chair set. The State Minister for Local Government in Buganda Kingdom, Joseph Kauchi, also attended the event. Amnafka Farida and Andrew Sebira.
The Joint Security Forces in Karamoja sub-region have arrested a 74-year-old chairperson of Akapwa village in Lotisan sub-county, Moroto district, and recovered a NATO gun. The security operatives have also netted a gun dealer, a one Teko Mariku, resident of Lokiriam in Turkana County, Kija, who has been selling firearms to Karimojong in Kotido, Napak, Kabong, Moroto and Nakapiripirit districts.
Trade ammunition. One of his accomplices is this one, Morok, Muzerongok.
The operations of joint security offices of police and UPDF in Karamoja sub-region have netted notorious warriors and gun dealers. 7 suspects found in possession of firearms or linked to gun trafficking were paraded before the press at the 3rd Division headquarters in Moroto district. Mariko Teko, resident of Lokriama in Turkana County but of Uganda origin, was arrested on 2nd August after intelligence linked him to arms trading in Kabong, Kotido, Moroto, Nakapiripirit districts.
Trade by our intelligence network for arms trafficking and arms trade. Through concerted effort and interviews, he revealed to security forces that he has been trafficking guns, ammunition for livestock.
Teko named his clients, including a 74-year-old Ngorok Eluktopere, who was found armed with a NATO gun.
The chairperson of Akwa, yes, village in Lotisan sub-county, Moroto, was arrested and was found in possession of a NATO gun number 762 with the 3 ammunition, which was recovered instantly. Our intelligence is following on several buyers of these guns from the same man, Teko Mariko. We believe and we are still committed that suspects of this nature will still be arrested, put in custody, and they'll be tried.
Relatedly, the LC2 chairpersons of Lopetakori and Kalapata Trading Center in Kabong district, Akol Lonya and Lodukai Lukol, were arrested for illegally possessing guns. Lokeris Lomuso and Lokieny were also arrested for trafficking guns from South Sudan.
Were arrested for being in possession of the firearm. On close follow-up, intelligence arrested Lokeny Lonya, a brother to Akol Lonya, and Lokeris Lomuso, all with us here. They are all residents of Kabong district, still on the same account, illegal possession of firearms and trafficking firearms and ammunition with the Toposa community of South Sudan. It is believed that Lokeris Lomuso and Lokenya Lonya are big middlemen in dealing in firearms.
Gira Natolikodo, alleged to have killed UPDF 2 soldiers in May in this year, were also paraded. The Karamoja sub-region police spokesperson Michael Ongole hints on the commercialized raids and investigations of security officers behind Waragi cell in the region.
Discovered that the Waragi was in the house of a girlfriend to one of our officers. We have already taken up the investigations to see if this officer of ours was in a know that his girlfriend was dealing in Waragi. Because personally, we have not got our officer dealing in the selling of Waragi. So when you are engaged to somebody, it does not automatically bring you to the business of the Waragi.
Since the Joint Security Forces intensified simultaneous cordon and search, 244 guns, 930 rounds of ammunition and over 6,669 herds of livestock have been recovered. Abiona Francisco, Morini Iga, UBC News.
Business news is up next after this other short break.
Princess! Is there a problem? Honey, relax. There'll be no more worries about SMSs, phone calls, sijui data, because daddy has got an Airtel smart plan. There is even Airtel TV. It means no worries.
Enjoy life worry-free with Airtel Smart Plans. Shareable among 5 people. Use every day and pay.
Uganda Land Owners Association welcomes you to the Land Use Exhibition, the first of its kind in Uganda. Do you want to learn how to use and earn from your land, or you need information on how to manage your land? Come and be part of this exhibition, which will start from the 31st of August to the 1st of September at Umasho Grounds, Nakawa Multipurpose Hall. Don't miss a session which will tackle land matters in board discussions at only 5,000 shillings. Small and large-scale business owners, you're invited to showcase your commodities. To be part of this exhibition, call 0701 111 401 or 0772 446 507. The Land Use Exhibition is organized by the Uganda Land Owners Association, sponsored by Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC.
Vimba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
A good school doesn't tolerate violence against children.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Welcome back. Let's have a look now at the latest in business. Equal Opportunities Commission has engaged with the Parliamentary Committee on Gender, Labour and Social Development to devise means on how challenges faced by Ugandans who seek employment abroad can be solved. Now, this follows a petition by Ewan Annette Nakagulire's family to the Speaker of Parliament, citing that their daughter was illegally transported and allegedly tortured in Saudi Arabia since 2021.
Many people have described challenges they face in the Arab countries, such as torture, trafficking, slavery, but all in vain. Many people are being paraded at Entebbe Airport by various recruitment companies to see that they go abroad to get employed. The Equal Opportunities Commission has engaged the Parliamentary Committee of Gender, Labour and Social Development to address challenges faced by such Ugandans.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has not ratified the Convention on Labour Migrants Protection. And we are busy signing an agreement with the people who are not bound by the Convention.
This follows a petition by Annette Nakagulire's family to the Speaker of Parliament, citing that their daughter was illegally transported and allegedly tortured in Saudi Arabia.
You will realize that they don't sign their agreement. Someone else sits, signs for all of them, and then they pretend like these people have signed.
Safia Naule Juko, the chairperson Equal Opportunities Commission, says Parliament must formulate laws and policies that cater for the migrant workers.
Ministry, our mother ministry, Ministry of Gender, Parliament of Uganda, Equal Opportunities Commission, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the missions abroad, we should work as a team to actually make sure that the working conditions are safe.
Such instances of modern-day slavery, human trafficking, are related to the high rate of unemployment in the country.
Here and there, kidneys are extracted. So what is happening when they begin harvesting on these people? I want to imagine because of desperation and lack of employment in Uganda. People are desperate. It's like someone going to the bank and you want money, you want a loan desperately. You find where they have put a stand, you sign. But you don't read. Even the educated, most educated, because their target is getting money, they don't bother. So even this service, medical examination, we need to know what is it that they look for. Yeah, what is.
The Member of Parliament representing workers, Charles Bakabulindi, says there is need for recruitment agencies to monitor the Ugandan workers abroad.
And these recruitments or exporters of human beings, because it is business, they export it to importers on the other side. The importer knows what he's going to do with that business. And that's why we need to come out and be serious on this issue.
The ideas and guidelines generated in this engagement will be tabled in Parliament with the Minister of Gender and other stakeholders to minimize labor exploitation and exploitation. Natong Rebecca, Nabugude Susan, UBC News.
Uganda Free Zones Authority has highlighted its role in driving the East African Community and Uganda export-led industrialization strategy through the establishment of free zones, which are key economic development policy tools.
To increase and create opportunities for export-oriented investment, Uganda Free Zones Authority has emphasized its support of Uganda's manufactured goods in order to access regional and global markets.
As you know, we are in a common market in East Africa. Common market means free movement of labor, free movement of capital, free movement of goods, free movement of services. And we have to be competitive enough in that area, and we have to be able to attract international and local investment that are geared towards export. We implement the public investments that are geared towards developing customized industrial infrastructure and production facilities to international standards.
The tax incentives by Uganda Free Zones Authority will boost Uganda's contribution rates to global exports and also lower the cost of production.
Why government is incentivizing production for export is that there is a backward demand linkage to what is produced locally in the population. Once an area is gazetted, we should be able to incentivize people who are entrepreneurs, business people who are producing for export.
With common challenges like limited resources, lack of knowledge about free zones, among others, faced by potential developers across the country, Uganda Free Zones Authority has elaborated its interventions geared towards investment promotion.
We empower those SMEs or those farmers who have the potential to supply these free zones. So on an annual basis, what we are doing as the Free Zones Authority is to ensure that we profile those activities, those services, those goods that are potentially available, that could be sourced from the companies or the farmers or any other potential suppliers who are not specifically in the free zones.
The initiatives geared by Uganda Free Zones Authority are aimed at creating an enabling environment for export-related investments, which will consequently increase total export earnings. Joshua Kagoro, UBC News.
Coffee farmers in Bukomansimbi district are worried by the current drought which has hit the area, greatly affecting their coffee gardens and other plantations. Farmers say they have acquired loans from banks and now seek government intervention, as we hear in this report.
Bukomansimbi District is the leading grower of coffee, contributing to Uganda's coffee export. But in Chitanda sub-county, farmers' plantations were affected by dry spell following continuous drought that hit the area. The farmers are looking to the government for intervention.
Eberenge zitekawo at least abaliraanye n'ebisenyi babenga bo basobola okufukirira naye kati weesanga ng'oweekisenyi naffe abali ku lukalu ate tukosebwa kye kimu.
Coffee and maize farmers say they have received loans and are worried in case their harvests fail. The persistent drought in Kitanda sub-county Bukomansimbi has affected the water levels and dams are drying up.
So what is the result now? Famine, diseases, people are going to be displaced. As we earlier reported, loans are everywhere. These people are running up and down and banks want their money. So as a result here, we end up having nothing and all people are suffering. So we
ennaku gye tuyina nti sente zonna twazikwata ne tuzeewola ne tuzikozesa naye tetuggyemu nakamu. Nga bwe mutuli ennimiro ya kasooli eno eri mu yiika 20 okugikola ogiyimirizaawo osobola ogiteekamu obukadde obuli mu 15 kuba bw'eba ebaza osobola ogikungulamu miliyoni ziri 4 naye olwaleero miliyoni ziri waziteekamu neewole temugenda kuvamu yadde omutwalo nga bwe mutulya kasooli ono.
Bashir Semakula is a coffee farmer in Bukomansimbi South who wants government to partner with district leaders in addressing climate change.
3 years because of drought, they have no water, they have no what, so their fertilizers which have been coming from government, it has been stolen, people they are selling it. So I advise the office of the Prime Minister to come in and intervene so that we can solve this problem. Because people, everyone is talking about government has not done anything, government has not done anything. So it's the high time for us, we flag bearers, to come on ground and start doing our work.
Research shows that climate change caused by human activity results into environmental degradation and affects almost the entire country. Robert Katamba reporting for UBC News.
We'll take yet another short break and return with sports. Welcome back. Let's have a look now at the latest in sport. And Kampala district has held its festival for children with intellectual disability. Hundreds of them participated at Shimon demonstration grounds in what was termed as a sports for development. Each intellectual disability child was paired with a partner who is a typical kid, allowing them to develop both confidence and other social skills. The program is a Special Olympics program funded by the German Corporation for Development.
And on. Time for the reflection, coaches. Good job. We are left with only one.
I am 17 years old. I've learned to run, to have teamwork, and I've learned to focus, and I've learned to be attentive in everything that I do. Run. My best teacher is Teacher Justin. Only that we always think that children are different. I mean, people are different. Their ability levels are different. Just like a tractor, you cannot put a tractor against a Benz and you think they will compete the same way. We don't give them chance to compete in their ability level. They deserve to be in a competition in their ability level.
The role of Special Olympics is the inclusion. We are trying to bring the inclusion. How best can people know that people with intellectual disabilities can be brought in or incorporated within our communities? So because you find that in our communities we have very many people, the people with intellectual disability that are always neglected. So we always move in different villages and communities. They always put those people, the learners with intellectual disabilities, for example, in the drums. So we want to tell the communities, the world, that these people can do something in life. So that's why we are bringing them, and we are bringing them together, learners with or without. We call them the typical, the able-bodied. We are bringing them so that they can learn together.
We end this sports segment in the UK, where the 2022 Commonwealth Games have climaxed in Birmingham. Our sports reporter John Burns Sentamu has been following the action and sent us this report.
Another quality display of fireworks filled the night sky in Birmingham as the curtain fell on the 2022 Commonwealth Games. This spectacle was at the Alexander Stadium and punctuated by performances from some of the world's best during a classic closing ceremony. Uganda was part of the Commonwealth Games and sent athletes from 11 federations including athletics, squash, wrestling and badminton.
We saw the level of play here because we're talking about world champions here. Sindhu was here, we had Dinuka was here, there were some big names here. So when you look at the pace of play, they are very fast, they're very skilled, they are very consistent with the shuttle. And for us, this is the challenge we are going to address. But addressing this needs to be financed. We're talking about resources. We're talking about a whole lot of shuttles, good rackets, all those things, because this is what these athletes are doing better than us.
The Uganda team leader Hamson Obua believes the future is bright.
We believe that we have a critical mass of athletes who should be identified, who should be nurtured and mentored for challenges to come in future. To me, I end on a high note, but I commit to continue even as government chief whip to whip the sports subsector of the Republic of Uganda such that we can move from greater height that has been built over time to the greatest height that we would want to achieve.
Despite the success, National Council of Sports General Secretary Dr. Bernard Patrick Ogwell thinks the country doesn't need to rest on its laurels, but rather address key issues.
To me, the missing gap, therefore, was having a world-class facilities that would facilitate better training and performances for our players. The other part is for government to provide enough funding that address needs for qualification, early enough, preparation, early enough, and presentation. As I talk now, I'm not lamenting, but some of the logistics had to arrive in the middle and at the end of the competition. But our efforts were focused. So if you talk about motivation, you'll find we needed motivation before, not during, not after. This is the catchword for me as an administrator of sports.
Relatedly, Ugandan teams have started returning home with the She Cranes part of the early birds.
All the members, all the athletes that I traveled with, they're all around, the 12 and the 4 officials.
Uganda sent 75 athletes and won 5 medals and will hope for better at the next Commonwealth Games in the Australian state of Victoria in 2026. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
And that sports story brings us to the end of this second and final edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company. My name is Rukidi Edward Kiijanangoma. I'll see you tomorrow. But now I'll leave you with Molen Kenyana with the weather forecast for tomorrow. Molen.
Good evening and thank you. Yes, good evening and thank you very much for keeping it to UBC. Time now to look at tonight's weather report. My name is Molen Kenyana. Well, we have been having mostly rainy conditions across the northern half of our country. And of course, that is the situation that we saw today across mostly within West Nile and parts of northern Uganda. But the rest of the country continues to have mostly sunny weather. And we could be looking at that for the next couple of days. But from the analysis that we have from the satellites, we still have those high pressure systems within the south of our continent. And those are pushing the rain-bearing clouds further north of the continent. And of course, that takes in the northern half of our country, which is why we're seeing mostly rainy weather across that part of the region. And of course, that leaves the southern sector with mostly dry and sunny weather. And of course, considering that and other factors, we look into tomorrow's weather forecast. Well, in the morning, we will start off with mostly a mix of clouds and sunshine, and that will be across most areas within the country. And of course, as we head towards the afternoon, we'll continue with similar weather across most areas. But again, we'll see development of rainy conditions across the northern sector. That extends all the way up to the eastern half of the country and a few places within the western part. And of course, that will also be bringing a little bit of temperatures down. For the Karamoja region, we are expecting a maximum of 28. That will be across the northeastern part of the country. Kampala will also be at 28. But we are forecasting a sunny day across western Uganda. Of course, temperatures rising up. We have a maximum of 32 degrees centigrade. Now, some of the wild cities that we have for you, we're forecasting sunny intervals. That will be across Pretoria, Nairobi, as well as London, and a sunny day is forecast. That will be across Tokyo as well as Dubai. Still hot weather for Dubai with temperatures rising up to 42 degrees centigrade. Well, that is it from the Weather Center for now. Thank you very much for the company. My name is Molin Kenyana, wishing you a good night.